Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast. This is episode 73. Unfortunately, we don't have Ollie today because when this episode releases, he'll have already raced. He was down under in Australia at the World Cross Country Championships. So just to get out of the way, best of luck to him. I guess his race is literally in 7 hours?
7 hours from right now.
7 hours from right now. So we're wishing him the best. Hopefully he's getting dialed in. Hopefully he has a morning coffee. But did announce on the Instagram that we had a very special guest for this episode. And some people, were saying, I saw, who is it? Sebco. Jakob. No, we beat them all. We got the most specials of them all. Today we have Mr. Tom Wang. Tom, how you doing, bro?
I'm great. This is a dream for me. This is also the 1 year podcast episode anniversary of the Scarf episode, like the post Millrose. Scarf episode.
I would say that's probably when you first gained.
That was my first kind of break,
fame,
notoriety
among our
when
fans.
I won the title.
Yeah, right? Superfan. You've definitely been our superfan for at least a year.
Yeah.
And
on the ground.
What episode was it?
I don't know.
You became superfan. How early on?
It was. Did you listen to episode?
I was like within 10 episodes. I was mentioned.
We mentioned it. Oh yeah.
Like just for comments.
We didn't get many comments back then, but we were getting 110 comments.
He's very noticeable. Yeah, I honestly, that's all a blur to me. Like, I can't remember how you infiltrated to the level that you have, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It feels so special to have someone like you in our lives who, starts as a fan of the podcast, super fan, gives us so much support, more support than we deserve, and then full circle, now you're on the actual show. It's just crazy.
It's always, not to get emotional here, but
no, please do.
It's always, you guys always call me super fan, but it feels more like we're super friends now.
That was so good.
You prepared that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought about that the first time. That was actually giving me like my first comment. The first time the superfan title was, but I saved that for this day.
The rise from superfan to superfriend.
Yeah.
That's what this journey of this episode will be.
Yeah.
Yes, for those who don't know, we actually have hung out with Tom Wang multiple times now. He even flew out to our gala, like the big party we have. So we actually know Tom pretty well now. And so it just feels right to have him on the show. He's in town for a couple of weeks on a little training vacation.
Thanks for flying me out.
We flew out just for the show.
The 3 or 4 episode part series, right?
Yeah. Part 1.
Yeah, this is part 1, so we'll get into my early days, but maybe by episode 4 we'll get to like the second Millrose games and beyond.
Yeah, we'll work
by that episode. I think you'll just have replaced Ollie.
Yeah. Actually, both of you. I'm actually the founder of the Coffee Club podcast.
It'll just be a monologue.
It's just you and Gus.
Yeah.
The way it was meant to be.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into it, we do have a bean shout out today. Who do these beans come from?
Me or you, Tom? Who wants to? I feel like you know more about it.
I'd love to hear you take a stab, but then I can.
I had to double check with Tom. I mean, they got presented to me by, I thought it was a friend of Tom's. He was with Tom.
Yeah. No, he's
They're from Vermont. Whistle Pig barrel aged coffee. I think these literally taste like whiskey, so I'm not feeling super confident about how they're gonna be. It's something new for us to try.
Yeah.
What's your
No, I just want to hear, because he did like, he was telling me a story or something. I believe that's from Will Bryant and his friend Blake. They both go to Connecticut College. Go Camels. They're from the Nescac family, which was like our D3 athletic conference. So there's there's strong ties there, and their old coach was also an alumni of my school. So there's a lot of But they actually approached me as like fans of the podcast and fans of Wamtang. They were like one of my first official fans. So
I'm sure you do have a legion of fans out there.
Yeah. They were actually talking to me first, and then George came over. So at least I could claim that.
Yeah. You guys were prepared to put chocolate milk in your coffee today, so you guys would try anything. So we'll leave that up to you.
Getting pretty wild over here. No, this was Tom Wang's invention this morning. He just whips out. We were doing our morning coffee because Tom is also staying here.
He's replaced Ollie.
He's literally replaced him. He's staying here and he just pulls the shot of espresso and then just pours chocolate milk into it. He's like, I'm going to do a mocha this morning. I was like, and then I tasted it. I'm like, fuck, that tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
So
did you froth it though?
No, we could froth it. I'd be worried about
getting in the machine?
Well, that, but also it's it's probably more sugary. So that could, well, we have to experiment. Let's figure it out.
I think it's worth a go.
Yeah.
You should do the chocolate milk and the whiskey coffee.
Yeah?
Whiskey and
like-
chocolate.
I'm open to anything.
Yeah, I can
That's
see how
actually
that would
pretty
work.
Smart, yeah.
That sounds
Complement
like
each
an
other.
Irish coffee just coming together.
Yeah.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, Will.
yeah, thank you very much for the beans. So we're gonna get into Tom Wang's. I feel like most people know who he is. I don't know if that's a fair thing to say. I would imagine they do. But before we get into that, we do want to do a quick Peter Bowl update because his situation we touched on, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, I can't remember, and we said nothing because we were like, yeah, we'll wait to see for the dust to settle and all that. And there was an update, and it was the update. It was kind of a weird one. It was kind of a bit of a tease, but it was the update that everyone was looking or hoping for, where he came out with a statement saying that he'd been cleared and he's able to compete. And then after that, I think Athletics Australia followed up with a statement. I believe it was them saying that, so his B sample didn't come back as negative, but it came back as atypical. And essentially it means that they have to do further investigation on it, but it means that he's not banned. If you have like atypical, that's not a positive. So I guess you're only banned if it's positive. It is weird to think that you have an A sample that's positive and then a B that's atypical, but it makes sense that obviously you would need both to be positive to be banned. So, I mean, I think for a lot of people, it means he's free, he's in the clear, but we don't really actually understand the process. So that's just an update. But there's nothing really to say about it because we're still in a bit of confusion, but it seems like it means like he's going to be cleared. And that's a good thing.
I feel like the main thing to say is that how is this the system that we've got to this point? Why aren't they just testing the B sample in the first place? Like the fact that we even talked about this, we've already talked about this for the second time, and there's still not necessarily a final decision. What is the point of all that? Just like it has no effect on maybe like the use. Wait, who is it? WADA or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're just like sending out positive test here, positive test there, but like for Pete, that's like life-threatening, like
life-changing, for
life-changing, tiny bit of information that didn't necessarily need to come out.
That's,
that might be totally inconsequential.
It's the really sad part about it, and I saw a lot of people commenting on it because Pete's massive in Australia. He's like he's like a celebrity, and so when he like tweeted his statement, it obviously got a lot of traction, it got a lot of replies, and a lot of people are saying like, how do they make up for the damage to his reputation that was created in this time period, assuming like he continues to be like negative, like how do you make up for that? And I guess I don't think you can like sue people. I don't think it works.
Maybe you can. Like that's potential sponsors.
Yeah, I was about to say potential people
someone
think
might have already
twice about
him.
sponsoring him. Yeah, he might have already been.
Yeah,
you'd think that would cost him.
It's so annoying to have that happen, like because this is not that we want to go down this long tangent right now, but that is the implications of all the doping is just all the innocent people that it negatively affects. Because it's a similar thing where like this is what Nick Willis always talks about, how you're never going to make up for getting beaten by dopers even if they test positive later. You never get back that spot, that moment, that spot, the spotlight, and all the sponsorship and money that comes with it. And it's like similar case here where I don't really think they can do anything to make up for it, but I mean, if I know anything about Pete, he has an amazing story already, and so I know that this is going to be obviously another big chapter of it, and so he seems like the type of guy who, whatever the negative is, he's able to take it and turn it into a positive. So I still have confidence that he'll be able to do that, but it's just one of those things where, I mean, you obviously don't wish it for anyone, and it's going to be hard to make up for like how shit it was for him. Luckily it came out really quick, actually, I will say, because initially they said the B sample I think would take maybe months, but I think it only took a couple of weeks. So luckily it wasn't that long that he was waiting around. But I don't think there's really any way to make up for that, unfortunately. So that's the update on that. Hopefully things do become more conclusive as well. It's still like, the uncertainty is still like kind of weird. But moving on from that onto the more happier news, Tom Wang is in the building on the show. I don't even know where to start because like, how do you describe yourself to just like, what's your elevator pitch for Tom Wang? Who is Tom Wang? Wom Tang, as some people may know him.
my like track resume. That's
your life resume.
We could go through my life resume.
We do your track resume too.
Yeah. Well, I have like a like a lifelong relationship to the sport, but right now it's like OAC superfan, Coffee Club superfan, friend of the pod,
and friend of Citrus Mag.
Citrus Mag.
Training
I'm training partner Tom, TPT to Chris Chiggy Chavez. Actually, let's call it out right now. He joined a track club, and we're kind of going through like a Cooper Cole situation right now.
No.
Who's Cooper? Who's Cole?
Oh, he's Cooper. He joined the definitive Bowerman of New York City Central Park Track Club.
Damn.
They're just they're very good. They train at the Armory. They're doing like really hard, like tough workouts, and I'm kind of going solo with my old coach. So.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so
I can't believe he did that to you.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
Yeah, he was like, "I want to get fast," and I was
I not
that's
enough?
what we were doing. Yeah. No, but we still go on runs. So maybe I don't know where Cole and Cooper stand, and I'm not going to comment on that. But if I see them and I relate to it a little bit.
Are you guys on a similar level?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I would say Chris definitely has like a bigger aerobic engine and base. Like his easy runs, he's like. He actually I took one of my friends Sam's for a long run with us, and Chris like 3-stepped us. Like he ran the entire way like about a meter ahead of us.
That's brutal.
And we just kept like looking to like smiling. No, but yeah, and I have a speed background. I was did shorter events in college, so
yeah,
stuff like the mile.
So you competed in D3 in college?
Yes, yeah.
In
Go
Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
Yeah. I went to Tufts University. I was a hurdler and a jumper, and then I switched to the multis for my last 2 years, which was like risky and very injury, whatever. So, but yeah, I had a great time. And before that, you asked me before the podcast, like, was I always a track fan? And I think it started in high school. I went to which is it's kind of now known as the High School of Sidney McLaughlin, but is really just high school track dynasty, Union Catholic.
Wait, you went to the same high school as Sidney McLaughlin?
Yeah. I ran with her 2 older siblings, Morgan and Taylor. So that family, yeah. So we crossed paths and stuff like.
Yeah, Taylor ran in Michigan, no?
Yeah, he ran in Michigan. Yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still is. I think I'm like almost certain he's racing this year, and like he's gonna do.
Because he does the 100 hurdles, right?
Yeah. No, 400 hurdles. I'm pretty sure he's also. I mean, I might just be like spewing misinformation right now, but watch out for that. I'm pretty sure he's at USC doing grad school, but also in the same training group as Rye Benjamin and Michael Norman.
Good training.
I'm almost positive.
Not a bad spot to be.
Yeah. And he's a New Balance athlete, so I think so watch out for him. But yeah, I've been on a few relays with him, which is a cool.
That is pretty cool to be able to say that.
No, yeah. So New Jersey at the time, it was like we were also in the same conference as Ed Jez. So like every weekend, it was like seeing that guy rip 2 mile, cross country 5K, just lapping everybody. And that was great. That's like we were super fans of Ed. So yeah, that's kind of where it started.
It's funny that you've crossed paths. I guess if you're in New York, there's a lot of people in New York, a lot of good runners. You've crossed paths with all these different amazing athletes, because over breakfast this morning, you were telling me about crossing paths with Mary Kane.
Oh yeah, should I tell that story?
Yeah, I think George will appreciate it.
That one's pretty bad. This is probably me at my absolute worst. But so we're at the Armory, and it's maybe like 2012, 2011, and my team was like our boys team at that time was like the national champions. Like we had, like when you score like whatever the New Balance Nationals, like we had won. And we had like national championship jackets, tracksuits, and we like
looked the part.
Yeah, we looked the part, but we were just like skinny, teenagers, whatever. And I thought it was really cool. And we were warming up in that like horrible, hot, stressful hallway at the Armory, and I'll never forget like someone bumping into me and me going like who do you think you are? Like I said something like really obnoxious.
In your national champs jacket.
Yeah. Like it's like, get off me, like something like that.
Get off.
Yeah. We were like, I'm trying to hurdle, and then Yeah, Gus didn't like that.
Gus doesn't like that.
And I turn around and, at the time, I didn't know who it was. And like maybe like an hour or two later, I definitely like no-heighted in high jump or something, or done something like we, someone fell in the hurdles, but I was feeling like really bummed out. And like I hear on the announcement, like, everybody watch out for Mary Kane here, finished closing in 2:04, like New York State record. And that's my story of bumping into Mary Kane.
You told her, get off me, and then that inspired her to go and break the state record in the 800.
So I could probably take most of the credit, I think.
Yeah. Damn.
But I grew up, like Audrey Wilson, Josette Norris, like those are the names we were like.
That's who you rub shoulders with.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Not me personally, but I was always hurt. But
yeah.
All those people from New Jersey?
Yeah. New Jersey, like super legit.
Why are there so many? There's good people from New Jersey.
I think there's a lot of people from there.
It's like one of the most densely populated, just like New York City suburbs. Yeah, it makes sense. Good schools.
Makes sense. So you have this, you grew up in it, and what's very impressive is that you, like a lot of people obviously do track in high school or even college, and then a lot of them go on and live their lives, and you've gone on and lived your life, but you've somehow remained extremely dedicated to the sport as a fan. And obviously you run yourself, but that's what's very impressive is like you're very, for those who don't know, like he's very successful in his career. Like he's got so much other stuff he could be doing with his life, but he chooses to dedicate all this time and passion to running and all that, which is just that's the stuff that you don't always see. And I mean, I think a great example of that, to tie that into the current times, is he made waves last week this is a very funny story as well. So Tom called me. Well, first he sent me a text. He said, Morgan, are you sitting down? And I said yes. And then I think you followed it up with, can you keep a secret? And I said, yeah, like, what is it? What's up? I was obviously like, wow, what's going on here? Like something crazy must be happening. And then he FaceTimes me and he shows me his tattoo. And it's this tattoo of this Ollie Hall, Wanamaker mile, back-to-back champion. And
still there.
It's still there. Yeah. And it does.
Of course it is. It's a tattoo.
It's a tattoo. It's going to be there for life. And he tried to.
It looks so good.
Yeah. He tried to convince me.
Shout out to, I think it's TaylorHeight.psd on Instagram. That's the artist.
Oh, yeah. She did it. And then tried to convince me it was real. I like, for a second, I like kind of believed it, because the only reason I believed it a little bit is because I had seen you asking about what tattoo you should get like the week before.
That was planned. That was part of it.
It was all part of it.
Like that was a plant.
Yeah.
Planting the seeds.
Yeah.
And then, but the whole time I was like, it's not real. And eventually you were like, yeah, it's not real, but you can't tell anyone. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be funny. Like, this is a very funny prank. And then later that day, it was posted on Citrus Mag's Instagram and our Instagram, and I think most people like legitimately thought it was real.
Yeah, there were some great comments on that. But I think.
And then from that, it was.
You know why? Because if you had any sort of like, if you were a listener of Coffee Club, like, you might have actually, like, there's a part of you that was like, yeah, this guy would actually do that.
It's
like
fucking crazy.
This is in character. Yeah.
So it's just like to see the super fan, like the fandom reach that level. And then it was very funny, because then the plan was to pretend it was real for everyone and just try fool as many people as possible. I know Ollie thought it was real.
Yeah,
we feel kind of bad.
That one was bad.
He was pretty stressed for a bit.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like he had like a stressful week of like media and the pressure, and like there's a lot of hype going into this race, but then also just like this was just I take actually full responsibility for he probably was disappointed, but like the distraction. Yeah, that's me. That was me. But Chris Chavez ran into him in the hallway of the hotel, and he seemed pretty, like, he texted me and he was like, Ollie seems pretty upset, like pretty distraught, and like, dude, my heart sunk. I was like, I I've like really taken this way too far. Like this is
What have
like,
I done?
This is like extremely selfish of me. Like I've done something horrible. Like now I'm literally altering his career.
Yeah.
I think the crossover with Sirius Mag was very convincing too, because not that many people knew what we just said, that you and Chris are obviously know each other well. And because some people might think this is actually just like Sirius Mag doing journalism, and they found this random guy on the street who had been stabbed.
I would say
it was a very convenient crossover that made it even more convincing.
Because the thing is, I wouldn't have like our page, whatever. Like I wouldn't trust like anything we say.
Posted it. You would know it was fake.
But I was surprised that Chris Chavez would post it, and he knew it was fake. So he was in on the joke, and I was surprised that he would do that.
Way more people were surprised. More surprised that Chris posted this on the Sirius Mag Instagram than me getting an actual tattoo. Yeah, it's there.
It's still there?
It's still there, and hopefully it remains there.
For eternity.
Yeah.
So, and then it was kind of a landslide where, while it was still not public knowledge, I mean, I don't know if it ever really was full public knowledge that it was fake, but Tom was like texting me like, so-and-so from like the New York Times.
Oh my
New York Times just reached out to me like, because we were like when we had our phone call, we had an agreement like, all right, you're going to have to like get your acting chops out to really commit to this
full
bit.
Nathan Fielder, like method acting.
He was like, all right, like what do I say for like if you just got a tattoo like a couple weeks ago, like how should I be describing it? I was like, and I was just like, yeah, just say it's like peeling, just say it's healing, just keep saying it's healing. Like
I brought sunscreen.
Were you like rubbing it to make it look red?
No, we tried like some slapping. We did that like a little bit.
Because no, that's what everyone that, so I had people reach out to me and say, hey, is it real? And I was like, no. And then their reply was, but it's red.
Yeah.
That's what they kept saying to me.
I have some behind the scenes footage. Actually, like at my company, I reached out to like our design team, and there's like, they were mocking it up and like, but the tattoo was on my arm, but they like applied the paint and like, they cleaned up some. There's like, I didn't do a perfect job with the application, but they they cleaned it up.
So
yeah, no, actually, I actually met up with a writer who contributes to the New Yorker pretty frequently. He's gonna do there's a column of like crazy New Yorkers or something, and so he started asking me literally like a second question in, and I was like I was still not decided if I was gonna say if it was real or fake. But I was just going to keep answering his questions. Like seconds in, a guy walks by and he's like, tattoo guy, when's it coming off? Like, and it just like ruined the whole thing. Like, yeah. No, it was pretty funny though.
See,
but I was getting recognized. It was a surreal experience.
As you should. I mean, it's awesome because in a different sport, obviously you see that type of stuff all the time. Like NFL, like you see people with like all these like the fans with these crazy tattoos and stuff. So I'm like, wow, that's like a very funny, cool thing to do. So it is very impressive that as a fan you've been able to gain such notoriety and fame.
I have to give credit to Chris. Chris was like the marketing mastermind behind this. He's like, we were brainstorming like, what could I do do I dress up as a cloud? Do I bring like big heads of all the on athletes? And he was like, we got to do like the Super Bowl champion tattoo because it's
Oh, he actually came up with
it was his.
Wow.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
Man,
so he's actually
credit to him.
Yeah,
it was all he's planned.
Yeah,
I guess if you really if you take another step back and you look at it just pure like Citrus Mag is like media, he's just trying to create as much buzz about things as possible, and so this was the thing that would create the most buzz.
Yeah,
he was very smart about it,
and he used his truthful journalism platform, like credible news source.
He lost a lot of credibility,
but
the reputation of Citrus Mag has just taken a dive.
Had to happen eventually.
1 in 1,000 posts. There's a.
It only takes one.
Yeah.
It only takes one to lose all that he's worked for.
But so most of this episode, I think we got a lot of recapping on Millrose to do. It's weird because we're filming this week's one pretty late, so I would say people kind of in the sport move on from races pretty quickly. So we're kind of doing a bit of like.
A refresher.
It's a bit of a refresher because normally when we film on a Monday, so it's like this all just happens, but this one is 5 days later. So luckily we have Tom here to help us out with it because I think you'll be able to fill in a lot of the blanks. But I think we'll start off with just going through. We mentioned before that the boys were going there early to do some shoe testing. George, how did that all go down? Because I know that did everyone race in new shoes they could, but there was split 50-50 which shoes people raced in?
I don't know how much information I can give away, bro.
Oh, yeah, wait. I don't even know either.
I don't think... We weren't hiding the fact that we were wearing new shoes.
Yeah.
And
it was all legal, obviously.
Yeah, they're all approved and everything.
They get, like... Are they sent to World Athletics ahead of time or something?
Mm-hmm.
There's
the whole
they're on the
procedure.
approved list.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even begin to start giving away any secrets on them. I wouldn't know what I don't know anything about them in terms of making them. But no, we went out a couple of days early so that we did our pre-race workout at the Armory, which is like Wednesday for a Saturday race. And two different spikes, like 2 different new ones, and then our current one, and just did a little bit in each of them and put some pods on, normal shoe testing stuff. I don't really know. And everyone gave pretty good reviews. But there was a bit of a split. There's like a slightly more distance focused one and a slightly more aggressive one that I think the Milo boys wore the aggressive one.
All of them?
I think all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joe and I and Alicia wore a more distance focused one.
Which is kind of like the distance one is like the kind of just like the spike we already were racing in.
Yeah.
Just like better.
Just better, I think.
Just better, more foam or something.
Better, more something, more speed.
It's crazy to see how far like the on spike has come, because last year Millrose was its debut and it was like it was just as much of a story. It was just as much of a win as like your guys' win and Alicia's win. Like it was like
it's funny that Millrose has been the
testing ground.
Yeah, the testing ground 2 years in a row for a new spike. This year it went slightly smoother. At least I had already decided what spike to wear before getting to the track on Saturday, so that was a good start. But I guess something, just the timing of the design and the production keeps coming around right at Millrose. So I think everyone who wore the new spikes, I was going to say broke a national record, but they didn't. Damn.
Pretty close though.
Joe.
Yeah, pretty high percentage.
Pretty high percentage.
Do you think?
Very good.
Do you think like when they are sent into testing at World Athletics, they have like a person for every size, and they do like a 100-meter sprint, and they're like, "Yep, it's good." Like
that's the testing.
No, this is
the testing.
I'm way too fast.
I feel way too good in this shoe.
This is way too
subjective.
good. Yeah, that's how.
I wonder what gets like unapproved. What's going in there?
The sack. I know one is like the
one
shoe had
rules.
like a fat sack height, and it was.
Yeah, I think when they say testing, I think they're kind of like. I might be making this up, but I assume they're just cutting the shoe open.
That's
and
what I'm thinking.
Looking what's actually in it, because there are rules. Yeah, the rules about like having like multiple plate, like how many plates you can have. So it's like I think they're more looking at like what's hidden inside there.
Yeah.
In the shoe that you can't just tell from the outside, and then they're obviously measuring the amount of foam at a certain point in the shoe to make sure it's under the limits there and all that. But
shoe goodies.
Yeah. It was pretty impressive that we had like a big crew of like sports scientists and the design guys all out from Zurich, like on the ground, kind of getting everyone like ready to wear them, and everyone was like so confident in what that the team had produced that, you know, everyone that could wear them, everyone that had a size, pretty much put them on. And so credit to the design team and everyone out there making something pretty special.
It is pretty awesome. It's pretty exciting. I haven't actually seen them yet. I guess, do we have them here in Boulder?
I think we all just got to keep them. Yeah.
Because I want to see the new ones. I want the ones that you guys raced in. Like I think I can picture, but the ones that the Milers raced in, I don't actually know like what they look like.
They actually look the same.
They do look the same. Oh, it's on the inside. Oh, I gotta cut one open then, I guess.
I can't wait to try them.
Well,
why are you guys laughing?
There is, because we had a bunch of meetings leading up to it, so I know like the theory behind it, but I don't know exactly how it ended up looking. And the theory behind it, I don't think we're gonna give away like what is actually going on with the plate and all that in it, but it's a pretty cool idea. So I would be very excited. I just want to feel what it feels like to. I'm just hoping that when I put it on, I feel like what Yared looks like. When you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm hoping for. So, but no, very cool. You guys got to fly out and get all that stuff done, and then just racing it a few days later. I think that's always pretty epic to be able to do that. So New York, obviously, always a crazy good time, and with Millrose, it's the biggest. Well, I guess is Millrose bigger or Fifth Ave bigger for New York running? I guess Fifth.
Fifth Ave is like more like Roadrunner, the Roadrunner community.
More Roadrunner vibes.
Yeah. But Millrose is like the premier track event.
I think Fifth Ave is big in terms of participation because random people.
Yeah.
It's a big race.
There's like millions of heats.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Whereas Millrose is like the high roller event.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was expensive. Like tickets,
$120 or something.
If you didn't buy them on early enough, like you were paying over $100.
Yeah. Most of my friends actually couldn't go.
Yeah.
Like they just were like, hey, like the tickets are nuts this year.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And these are like my friend, like these are my track friend fans. They just like,
damn.
Yeah, I can't.
I honestly think, I think it's a good thing. Like I feel
think
like
so too.
The fact that it's in demand and it's not just like some track events that you couldn't pay people to go to.
100%.
So they're doing something right when the demand is that high that it's pretty much sold out. Tickets are expensive, and people are like getting kind of dressed up. Like I feel like people are showing up in like suits and stuff,
like scarves.
And there's like a
New York, baby.
There's like a cocktail, scarves.
VIP.
There's like I feel like there's like a little cocktail mixer afterwards.
I'm sure there is for the
like
high rollers.
There was
for like the sponsors and stuff.
Were you invited to that, Tom?
I was there. Yeah.
That's Tom's like he's in a circle. Tom's in a circle in all the different circles.
Yeah, I've tricked everybody.
But
no, I think Millrose is like straight up the best preview of what the product's potential. Like it's the best showcase of what track could be as far as excitement and energy. I think
it's a good way of selling track for sure.
Yeah.
And it obviously works every year.
Yeah. I like
something about it.
That the first half of the day is all these like really exciting actual high school and club races where like that kind of like kickstarts the crowd. Mm-hmm. But then they stick around and they bring their own energy, and they're actually used to cheering at track meets, and they're just like part of the sport. They're like kind of everyone is involved.
It's like a nice
college
little
and
opener.
high school. Yeah.
And then it gets to obviously 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours where it's like on NBC and that's like the main window, and it's where all the action is happening. And for us, it's actually pretty cool because it's extremely distance heavy. I think they have the big 60-meter race,
that
which
was awesome.
Is epic.
Yeah.
But then apart from that, I think it's all actually they had a 300
and
a 600
and a 600.
So they do have a variety, but yeah, it's just like obviously it's just amazing race after amazing race. And
and shot put. The shot put was pretty fun. That's like it's fun because it's in the center of the track, and people just can like the race happens, and then they're like, here comes Ryan Krauser trying a new shot put form, and it's like
so it is pretty epic. And obviously as we already mentioned, the OAC had another very good year at Millrose with 7 national records, and literally, I mean, everyone just like so many great performances showing up on the day. It's like so cool to see. As a super fan, Tom, I imagine that made you very happy.
Yeah, actually, like I was actually like, reflecting on it, I was actually like really stressed. I was
you're too invested.
I was actually well, and even before that, just like Alicia's race, I blacked out. I think like Elise Crandy was like way too close for too long. So the whole thing, So I think maybe I'm like too involved but the energy was there. It was loud.
Yeah. Well, let's go down the list for the listeners at home. You start off with Alicia in the 3K, American record, 8:25 from the front, doing her, which is, I mean, at this point she's at a place in her career where her confidence is just so high to just run from the front. Like, she just does not give a fuck. And I honestly didn't, because the pacing I think was around 250, and then her first 2Ks were both around 250, and so I was like, I was also a little bit nervous because I'm like, yeah, people can like kind of follow her. It's extremely quick, but she's like doing so much work up on the front, like on her own, and there's runners like right behind her. But then she just has the ability to just keep ramping it up, and her last K was so quick, and then she runs. Like I did not realize she was going to run 8:25. You know, after I saw like what the splits were, and I mean, amazing like performances behind her as well. Like Caitlin Tui breaking the collegiate record, and
that
was
cool.
It Whitney Auden? Whitney
Morgan now.
Oh, yeah,
Auden gone Morgan.
Yeah, and she was 8:30, and it's like 8:30 any other year is like
that's faster
mind
than
blowing.
Alicia
That
ran
maybe
last
win.
year.
Yeah, I think it like went. Yeah,
It's
that's a
mind
winning
blowing.
time.
So, and that's 5 seconds back. So obviously, like amazing performance. So good to see. And then I don't know if this is chronological or not, but I'll just go down like this. The men's 3K, we had a lot of representation with George, Jonas, and Joe. What was the vibe kind of going into that one? Because that was, as we talked about last week, a really stacked race.
It was, yeah. Real good field. Quite small though. Like,
Yeah,
they definitely could
I
have.
like that though.
Yeah, you definitely could have had a couple more people on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe people were
Morgan
scared.
for a start should have.
Sorry.
Loved to have you.
Apologies.
Yeah.
That would have been like
Dude,
half
come
the
on.
view. That would have been like half the field, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that
If
would
we
have
had
been
4
sick.
people in it.
That's good
That would have been
representation.
insane. No, I think the vibe was very positive, and Clicker was very committed to making sure that it wasn't another 740 race.
Yeah.
And I think Jonas was the same, like keen to get out and get on it.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of just assumed that Luis was pretty keen to do the same. He's never afraid of a hot pace. Because I think someone had asked for 401. I don't know, maybe that was us or Joe. I don't know.
Dathan.
That was Dathan.
Was that the same pace as the
in that
race?
same AJ Ernst?
AJ Ernst. Credit to him, man.
Dude, he's so good.
Amazing.
And he
Amazing
actually
pacing.
did we ended up running slightly off that, I think.
Well,
Maybe
he is one of those unique paces who had the ability to like he was on the pace and then the race slowed down behind him, and he had the awareness to like look back and be like, all right, I need to like get a bit closer to these guys and like keep it
and
going.
feel good enough to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
he looked amazing.
He must be really fit.
Yeah.
I talked to him afterwards too, and he's also like experienced enough or old enough, whatever it is, to like not freak out at the start and run 127 like
Right.
someone did at the front.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like that happens if you have been on the pro circuit for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
But he's like smart enough just to not go with that and like actually stay on it. And I think we went through and maybe they were 403 at the front and we were like 404 a few places back. Which
When did they drop?
I think did you go all the way to 2K?
I'm not sure exactly, but the race itself was kind of a classic 3K where it's like very fast. Like first K was everyone was on the pace, and then the second K people just like slow down a bit. Was it Cooper that was behind him, and Cooper dropped off the pace a little bit, and no one felt the need to go around Cooper. Everyone was because I was also surprised that like Luis didn't or Joe didn't just go around him straight away, but everyone was racing. You know, they weren't as focused on the time.
It was pretty connected for a lot of
I honestly think that's not a bad way to run a 3K.
Yeah,
because you can still run really fast at the end if you don't just blow it all in the first 2K. Or you can do it like Jared and run 7:28.
Just even.
But yeah, I feel like you can, because I think they still close in like 2:26 or something for the K. I think Josh closed in 3:59. I think.
Did he? It was fast, whatever it was.
Yeah. So I feel like if you just run like a couple of easy laps in the middle just to like get back up.
I legit forgot Josh won, and you reminding me kind of bummed me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing race.
Pretty good,
I mean, the way it played out at the end, I think Joe made a bit of a move to go to the front to speed it up. Like he was one of the first ones to start picking the pace back up, and I think Luis at the same time
I think at some point Luis got to the front.
Yeah, because I don't know if Joe ever actually made it to the front.
Did.
I think Luis responded and went around him. And then Josh Kerr just moved up, and then he had, obviously, I can't remember when he went to the front, 400 to go.
I think 400.
Obviously, he had like that big kick, which you kind of expect for the 1500 type guy. And Luis was definitely, it was a race. Right. Like it wasn't like he just blew everyone out, but
Luis and Joe were right there.
Yeah,
That's what Luis did.
Cooper wasn't far
Luis
back.
Yeah,
did that last year. He took over the race, 600 to go.
I think he looked kind of pissed afterwards.
Yeah.
I think he's sick of getting beaten in the last lap.
yeah.
It has happened 2 years in a row.
I mean, he keeps it
But
up though. He's gonna start
Still ran
winning.
7:33.
Yeah,
Pretty damn good.
and I think we already had a lot of respect for Josh Kerr. Obviously, there's all the say what you will, outclass, etc. But at the end of the day, we have a ton of respect for Josh Kerr as an athlete, and I
that
think
was amazing.
Yeah, this was another example of why he's so good, and like the decisions that he makes in regards to like the races that he does and the training and all that. It's like very. I think we all respect it a lot to have someone come out and just like a miler come out and crush a 3K against the 5K guys. I mean, not that like he shouldn't be able to do that, but it's still just very impressive to see it happen like that.
He's just got like such a high level mentality.
Yeah.
Of like
just a winner.
Yeah. I think
he knows how to win races.
It's really cool how he's really transparent and vocal about like, hey, here's why I treat my season like this, and here's how I'm going to build up to fix something or address what he views as a weakness, and then he's going to,
Yeah, things make a lot of sense in his head to him.
Yeah,
like it's all like
got a lot of self-belief.
Yeah.
Like, I only need to race 3 times.
Yeah.
Like you said that before. Like I don't need to do anything else.
And then he gets the results, and it's like, well,
yeah,
can't hate on it.
Can't
Except
argue with
his
that.
Instagram post afterwards, I didn't love. See,
What a hero.
I didn't see it.
Overcoming the difficulties that he did, just inspirational.
You didn't see it.
Just
So he posted like 3 days after the race about how he was sick going into the race, and he showed like his text with his coach and stuff, and I'm
so he did the Strava, like
he did the
easy run today, not feeling it.
yeah, he did that. But the thing is, I like to believe in the good of humanity.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that he did it to spread motivation to people, to not give up, even when you don't feel great, that you can go out and achieve things. But there is then another layer to it of awareness where
I just don't think that's why he did it.
Where it's just like you're just flexing on all these people. It's like, because the thing is, it's not like, I'm just gonna say, it's not like he would have raced any different if he hadn't been sick. Like it's not like it would have gone any different, So it's not like it actually mattered.
But I just don't get if he is he expecting to get more fans by doing that? You're not gonna like get more fans. I don't know what does he want?
Maybe though, because then maybe someone else is like sick, and then they look at this and they're like, well, if Josh Kerr did it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
So I'll get
Just
sick.
Wait,
so I have to get sick. If I get sick, dude, I can like crush a 3K.
Yeah, it's the secret actually to success now. But yeah, so the OAC.
But we actually can't say it because he won.
No,
he kind of earned the right to.
You can post whatever.
Yeah, you can
have
post anything.
The most douchey post possible.
He still posts whatever he wants, no matter what.
Yeah.
No, but I did listen to his post-race interviews, and he was also on the Citrus Mag
half marathoner, Josh Kerr.
Yeah, and I actually really liked the interviews that he did, which is kind of what you're talking about, like the way he talks about it. So I would recommend those to anyone. But yeah, George, New Zealand national record.
Boom.
Thank you.
Not too bad. And then we also had Jonas with the Swiss national record.
Boom.
And then Joe, I don't know how much, that was probably a big PB, 734.
Yeah, he told me. It was quite high. Number like 4 US all time or something.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Something like that.
Probably Legat.
It's crazy because now
Grant.
the low 30s, and then of course with the race this week, like it just feels like 720.
It makes
low 730s like the norm now.
It makes low 730s look like so much more doable.
It does.
Every year it's like something ridiculous becomes normal.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's annoying. It's annoying that I've been injured for like this whole period, because now it's like the whole game has changed. It's like in my head I'm like, because I haven't like been like keeping up with it, And now it's like I gotta fucking come back and just run.
Like those are races
like,
that you will eventually be in. So
but I mean, obviously on the flip side, it's like my training partners are out here doing it, so it's like you have like that confidence. It's just like the whole game is just shifted.
As soon as one person does something, like as soon as Yared goes down in 401, everyone's like, oh, all right, every 3K has to go out in 401 now. These are the rules.
Those are the rules, and I mean it works. It works.
works.
Then you get a race like that where I don't know, 80% of the field PB'd,
Yeah, Dylan Jacobs, very close to a collegiate record.
Yeah, amazing run by him.
I feel like he's
Underrated.
underrated. I don't know what it is. We're comparing to Nico, just because it's the easiest.
Mhm.
He's run as fast as Nico, and he was one place behind them at NCAA Cross, and he's the only one out of them that has an NCAA title.
Wow.
But he's so under the radar.
He's so good. It's because he didn't go to NAU, bro. It's
It is.
because he goes to Tennessee.
Was he a transfer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
I've
Notre
actually
Dame.
never heard of him until like this season, which is
He
I
won
mean,
the,
I'm
he
trying
won
to
the
say,
NCAA 10K last year, outdoors.
Yeah,
He beat Abdi.
yeah.
but this is the disconnect.
Yeah, so
Something-
I remember this. Abdi got second,
Got
Third.
third, yeah, but
Third
I don't
in
remember
fact.
it like
Yeah.
that.
But he went to NAU, so,
So
he's freaking famous.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
but I think he would have.
No, this is
I think
good.
he would have had the collegiate record because, crazy story, like me, thought there was another lap left.
Yeah.
No shit.
Lots of laps in those indoor
I don't know what it
3Ks.
is. I've never done this my whole life before. Bell rang. Got like literally the shock of my life.
wait, yeah.
It's kind of
It
a
was
pleasant,
insane.
it's kind of a pleasant surprise though.
Kind of, but I'd left like just the perfect
yeah.
size gap for 2 laps,
Yeah.
and then, but for some reason, Joe also said earlier, not on the last lap, but like at like a K or 800, he also lost track of laps, and then he was telling me that there were like officials standing in front of the lap counter or something.
Interesting.
So like a few
Oh.
people had this experience.
Interesting.
So then me and Dylan thought there were 2 laps left.
I often don't know how many laps there are in an indoor race. I think an outdoor race is pretty easy,
Less laps. to
but
count.
indoor laps,
Yeah, I mean,
it happens. So
I try
quickly.
and go through like a few laps without looking, you know, because
Yeah.
you don't want to. I'm not
You wanna
someone
go
who
to
wants
sleep.
to just count them down. Yeah, go to sleep. And
Should we just
But somehow-
Mike Smith counter?
Yeah.
somehow I got all the way to the last lap.
You
And
slept
then-
for a little too long.
Yeah,
because of
I
your
fell asleep
Yeah.
for 1 too many laps,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then
So there's more.
yeah,
There's more for George.
but still, that,
Still an
that,
amazing
got,
race.
that gave me a little jump start on the last lap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So still had the fastest last
Yeah.
lap. I think that should be like a thing in Formula One.
You
Get a little
one
point.
Last lap bonus.
Yeah, a little point for fastest lap.
Yeah.
That'd be
That would be
nice.
pretty sick.
That would be like the Fifth Ave thing, the first 800.
Halfway
Yeah.
bonus.
Halfway
Yeah.
bonus.
Well, now,
That would
now
change
I'm
the
thinking
nature
about,
of
I'm thinking
everything.
about how you game the system. If there's an actual prize money for that, that'd be hilarious.
It'd be fun if
Wait,
there's
they,
like,
they should like if little prizes money for, but then
But what if you just then started? If you weren't gonna get regular prize money, then you just jog and then you just
no,
sprint
but
the last lap.
like in Formula One, you only get fastest lap if you finish in the top
Smart.
10.
yeah,
So it should be like that. You have to finish in
like
I
podium.
don't know,
No.
in the top. I don't know, 8 or first
Top-
or
top
half of
half-
the field,
top
whatever
half of
the
the
field
field,
size
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
and then they give you like
Top quarter.
$500.
These
That's
are good ideas.
That's a great
Innovation.
idea.
Innovation. Very
Ray?
exciting.
Yeah.
Ray, if you're listening from Millrose next year,
Wasn't exciting enough. We need to add in all these
Yeah.
all these extra.
that'd be so good.
It would. Yeah. Or
Storylines.
so you
I
just
cashed that in quite well.
like
I
a
think.
gimmick. Yeah. Yeah. Something for the these
People
like
love
non-championship races.
people already love looking at splits
Yeah.
and analyzing splits, so
It's true.
may as well monetize it.
It's true. Let's make some money. But so
That was the 3K.
that was 3K. Great race from all the boys, and then the women's mile was they went out really fast in it. I mean, every single race went out very fast. So don't need to keep saying it, I guess. But it was actually another very exciting race because the big headliner was Laura Muir, but she didn't do her normal Laura Muir thing where she's the classic go out hard, come home harder type deal normally.
Mhm.
Just like drop people on from the start and then just keep pressing it. This time on the third 400 of the race, she actually like slowed down quite a bit, and so the field was still with her, and our teammate Josette was leading. What was she leading with 400 to go?
Took the
I
lead.
think so.
I think she went with 600 to go,
600 to go?
and then she led 2 laps, I think,
Yeah.
and then just got reeled in the last like 100.
Yeah, because this
Laura Muir was looking vulnerable. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I did actually think that from the 3K the week before.
Mhm.
She like didn't run as quick as she had run previously. And you don't often see her needing to hustle on the last lap like that. But very impressive that she was still able to do it because Josette was closing
She looked
very
good.
fast. Yeah, she looked amazing.
Yeah, that was like strong. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's the return because she was like, well, I didn't realize that she did the same performance at Millrose last year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Because she wasn't wearing like
420. Yeah, like she ran because 420 is so quick, right?
It's really fast.
And she ran that last year as well. And then obviously she didn't have like the best outdoor season, but clearly things are clicking again.
It's a great debut.
Amazing debut, both in the jersey and with a new last name.
Oh
I didn't realize that.
Andrew's debut.
They probably like every time they announce her. Did you hear this?
No,
Were you watching?
No.
Like you know how the sparks come up for the Wanamaker mile?
Yeah.
Like everybody, they listed the accolades, like champion of this, champion of that, and it was like Josette, now Andrews. It's like wife of Robbie Andrews.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like they like said something.
That's pretty funny.
Well,
And
those
then-
two would have raced at the Armory so many times.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like, yeah, they're like
They're
Armory
New
Hall
Jersey.
of Fame. Yeah. Their names are all over like the there's like records on the servo. And even in the race, like when she took the lead, I heard them also like just call out her last name again.
Mm-hmm.
The announcer was like really loving the
Just
Loving
loving
the
the
fact
being
that
able
it's
to
the
say that.
rebrand. Yeah.
The rebrand. The
Yeah.
double rebrand.
Yeah.
On rebrand and
Yeah.
Andrew's rebrand.
See, I didn't even know that her last name had changed until that moment.
Yeah.
I've been
It was
calling
a
her
good
Josette
moment.
Norris.
Yeah.
still.
Should we go back? Could we edit the first half of the pod where I kept saying Norris?
Well, I don't even know like, officially what her last name is because her Instagram is still Josette Norris, but also she's verified, so you can't.
Apparently, it's
change her
really
name.
hard to legally do it. So
Oh,
maybe
so
they haven't got
there's
around to
difference.
legally doing
Yeah.
it, but you can just enter as...
You can race. It's a race name.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So can you enter as anything? I just put my name down.
Can one of you
Give
guys
it a
race
try.
as my name and get me into Worlds?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. But obviously, then behind her, there was a great race as well. Cinta broke the Italian national record for the second time in 2 weeks. Wait, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4:24, which is PB for her.
4 seconds
And-
too. 4 second PB.
Was it 4?
I think
Yeah.
so. I think she ran 4:28 at
28.
Dr. Sanders.
I don't know why in my head it was 26. Yeah, that's crazy. So, and then Sage was 2 seconds back from her. I think Sage was disappointed in that. She was trying to get after and run a bit quicker. But she's racing this week at USA's in the 1500.
I'd be scared to race against her this week.
So,
That would be.
At
so
altitude
she's going to
too.
make up for it.
I
Yeah.
feel like she's going to have a little advantage there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that was another couple of amazing performances. Do you guys know what the US women's mile record is? Like,
4:16.
oh, so Joseph still got 4
It's
seconds
really
to go.
fast.
What's the world record? 4:16?
Like 4:12.
Oh,
Isn't
don't
it?
even-
Or is that out?
I'm
4:40.
Actually, I don't
I'm
know
not
that
good
one.
with records.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But that's even watching those run that fast, and then you realize how fast Elle
Yeah.
ran like 2-3 years ago, whenever that was.
hmm
It's insane.
But amazing performances from OAC, another great race. And then the final race,
The big one.
the Wanamaker Mile, which had Ollie, Yared, and Mario. And this before, I think, got the most hype, which it always does, I think. The Wanamaker Mile
It should.
is...
Right
the
here.
miles are like the pinnacle. We got the trophy right here.
And
So-
I have the trophy.
Tom Wang
Delivery.
somehow has the trophy.
Thomas delivered the trophy.
Yeah. Funny story. Yeah, I just didn't want to bring it back because he went straight to Europe. So he just gave it to Tom because the new Tom was coming here. But this race, watching it was, I mean, in one way, things went like kind of how you would expect, but also it's still like completely mind-blowing simultaneously. I can't imagine what the atmosphere was like in the stadium during this race because for me, I was like, it was just like, what the fuck is happening right now? They went out 150. They had Eric Sawinski, amazing pacing, 153. Mara was actually the one to get right behind the pacemaker. And then Ollie took over on the third 400, which is where they slowed the race down a bit. I think that was a 59 for that 400. And then Yard was biding his time. I mean, if you were watching him specifically, you were just like, he looks so amazing. Like at 800, he's just chilling. He's just like
154.
he's
Right.
just like
I think he was probably 154.
FIFA.
How good is it when seeing like just 3 OAC people lined up? So
Yeah.
even though they didn't go 1, 2, 3, it's still dope when they just
get
go out
after
with
it.
the
Yeah,
intention.
that-
Just like
yeah.
the intention to just say, everyone else get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
it's and
We get behind the pacer.
and they're
It's so
blowing
baller.
they're blowing the race wide open. It's not like they're just doing that, and it's like a bunch. Like the race behind them, these are some of the other best runners in the world, and they're struggling to hang on to the pace behind them, which is the crazy thing because only Neil Gurley was able to hang with them, and everyone else was like not even really trying to through 800. Like I don't even think anyone was still really that much in contact. Everyone was back a few seconds, which is just crazy because these are like
Tanner was there.
Tanner was,
yeah.
He got after it, but
I'm curious what their mindset was. Like, OEC's doing their thing, or like,
I feel like all of them have to have enough self confidence though to try.
Yeah,
because like Johnny Gregorek, he's run 3:49 indoors, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like
he did end up running 2:51, I think.
He did.
He actually had a great race. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Probably because he was a little like more relaxed at 800.
Yeah, that probably does help.
Might have been like
that probably does help. But then in the last, did Yara take over with 400 to go?
Yeah.
And then he started winding up, and it was like, whoa.
It got so loud.
What is happening?
Yeah, that was
It got so loud.
Yeah, there was like.
We were going crazy on the back straight.
I've been to some like crazy NBA playoff games, and it felt like it was like shaking a little bit.
Because everyone knew that he was trying to break the American record.
Yeah. Okay, 100 to go. I thought it was world. I thought he was like, his world record's going down.
Well, that was the thing is, it was one of those ones where after they ran a 59 for the third 400, I was like, they can't break the world record anymore. But then Yara is sprinting so quick on the last lap. You're like, what the fuck? Like he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
More, yeah.
And then he closes in a 25 and runs 3:47, and he misses the world record by less than a second. And there's just such a dramatic fashion to win. I mean, we have seen how amazing he is, but just to see it like showcased like in that way, I just don't think anyone expected it to be like that dramatic. And the guys behind him like ran so amazing, but I mean, all of us, I think we pretty much just think that Yara is in this moment like the best miler in the world.
People are calling out Jakob for like when are you gonna race him? Like,
well, that's another.
Right now, I think he is. It's ridiculous watching someone run a 25 off the front of a 350 race.
Yeah,
because people are like holding on to run 350.
Yeah,
but being able to run a 25 off the front of that pace is outrageous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous to watch.
And behind him, Ollie. Well, so we got to shout out Neil Gurley because
that was sick.
He is so amazing. He's another one who is criminally underrated. He's been consistently good since 2019 on like a pro level. Like he's amazing, and he ended up coming second in 350, or was he 349?
49 something.
49.
Yeah.
And then Ollie equaled.
Only the 8th person to break 350 indoors ever or something. Or was he 9th? Maybe Yared was 8th and Neil was 9th ever.
Yeah, he was
That's
really
crazy, right?
He was really high on the all-time list. I remember seeing
not that many people have broken 350 indoors.
Keep an eye on that in the next few years.
Yeah,
350 number.
Yeah, I mean indoors is like it's always changing, you know, like compared to outdoors. Like El Guru's freaking back when he was running outdoors, they were doing it, but indoors is so much more modern, I would say, with people running these crazy times. That's the thing, like that we don't really talk about is like I think at one point like you weren't meant to run fast at this time of the year. Like you literally like weren't meant to. Like there was a mindset I think that it's like
you're training through it.
You're training like you're not meant to be like running like this amazing this time of year. You're meant to save it for outdoors, but now it's like people are able to do it and have like these two different peaks or whatever. But yeah, amazing race by him. And then Ollie came in and equaled his national record, which was pretty sick. He was disappointed, and he had as Tom already mentioned, he had a lot of like stress that week, not just the tattoo. He had a lot of like media stuff going on and all that.
Front page of the New York Times Sports or something. Like he was like
yeah, he had New York Times stuff going on.
Yeah,
he was going to Australia the next day to like get ready for World Cross.
Yeah,
his mom was there, and I have to say, like, anytime my parents have ever been to a race, I've never done as well as I wanted to. That's a factor.
That's a factor. I hope they don't hear that because they're gonna feel pretty bad.
Yeah. No, it's great. Like that's like love and support, but like that like adds an element of pressure.
I guess it does, and so yeah, he'll tell you like he didn't race as well as he wanted to race, but he still ran amazing. That's the thing. And then Mario broke the Spanish national record behind him. Was Mario fourth then?
Tanner was fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mario fifth. Probably also
Mario
like a
effect.
3-second PR too.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Dude,
He also, yeah.
The relativity.
Tanner just missed Willis's mile record. Half a second or something.
Damn.
Close.
Great race name as well.
Yeah.
So,
Very
yeah.
good run.
I wish I was in the stadium with you guys to just witness that because, yeah, it was just so amazing.
There's just like no limit to what he's won 6 track races in a row
Really?
for a start. 4 last year at the end of the season, and now he's gone Boston and Millrose. He hasn't like even been challenged in any of those races. Like
No.
we haven't even found out what is hard.
That's
Jared.
I don't know if he's just one of those runners who just like making it look easy is his thing, but he just makes it look so easy because we were talking, say like the 3K for example, like he went through in 401 or whatever, and it's like that looked too easy. It's like, I mean, everyone does have a limit. Like, what the hell is his limit? Like, what should he be going through? And where?
Yeah. How are you supposed to find it either?
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess he keeps racing. You're gonna find it eventually. And he is. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. It's just this is actually just proof of how hard he worked at school.
What do you mean?
Like being
Like
a
studying?
student athlete. Yeah, like
No, but
this guy was gunning for dental school.
see,
like, staying up late.
Yeah.
And then you take that away and now he's just
well,
like,
we've talked about it before. He still doesn't really give a fuck. Like, he's not like he's like.
yeah, but that's
I
like
don't think
that's like
them.
See-
you sleep less, you're
Yeah, it matters. I think Nick Wills had a really good tweet in reply to. This was in reply to. It's funny because this feels like a lifetime ago. But Jonathan Marcus, he had this very
Oh
silly
my
tweet
gosh.
accusing Yared of doping.
Did you see the Gus Thoughts version?
Well,
Like,
yeah.
As the dog of a professional runner, like these
Yeah.
are the angles that like the
Yeah.
back legs hit.
I hope everyone has seen it because we don't really want to like cover it and give
No,
it that
no,
much
no.
attention. It was just
Yeah,
silly.
It's idiotic.
But Nick Willis had a good point that he said when Yared ran, was it 334 at ACCs in the heats?
Mhm.
Nick Willis says he thinks he was already in 331 shape there. So, and that was quite a while ago. I think that was that
21.
21, and that's just like, so like the progression does kind of make sense. If you really just look at Yared's career, I think he just hasn't been tested as much as you would think because he's so like, I don't know, like he's
I
just
think there were a couple of races where he did make it look harder though, where
Yeah.
he won by like just leaning his giant torso
Yeah.
No, he
a
did.
tiny bit, and that was when he
did
would make
have
it
a lot
look
of that.
hard.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, that's the limit, and he just got it done by a last
Yeah.
final meter lean.
That is actually a
They have it
very
a
good
few
point.
times.
There's
No, it did.
also a ton of yard DMRs where he just doesn't get the baton near the front. And
Yeah.
like those are the like he still ends up winning those, but like
Yeah.
that's where he's maybe pushed to the limit. But like
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because
he's picking the
yeah.
DMR versus the open.
Yeah, but I think that is a good point actually. Now that I do think back to those races where, yeah, he was like not as strong. Clearly, he had it because he was able to win it in the last 100, but he would fall back in the last, either the second last lap or the start of the last lap. And now he's just able to just be strong like the whole way, and it's so impressive to see. And him and Mario went directly from New York to Spain because they're racing a 1500 in Madrid in a week from now.
Tuesday or
Yeah, less than a week.
Yeah,
It's like
22nd,
next
yeah.
Wednesday or something.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
during the week.
Yeah, midweek one.
And I'm not sure what their goals are.
May as well go for the world record. Like,
I don't know what pacing they're able to find.
I'm sure they want to do like
Yeah.
Is Sawinski pacing?
I hope so.
Right.
Because it's just like,
They may as well go
let's
out
see it.
faster.
Let's see
100
it.
less meters to run.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
I think Jakob's in the 3K too, so that's like very frustrating for fans that want to see.
Yeah. Is he still there?
Oh,
I thought maybe he
maybe
said
that's
that
maybe
he'd
I have
gone-
the old news.
He'd gone to focus on Europeans and
Yeah, we had at one point, I'm not sure if this was misinformation, but at one point we thought that Jakob was going to be in the 1500
yeah.
with
For a
Jared.
minute we thought that.
And then,
No, Grant Fisher.
Well,
Oh,
Grant
Grant
Fisher's
Fisher,
in
Grant
it.
Fisher
Yeah, yeah,
is
isn't
in
it?
it.
Yeah,
yeah, but then Jakob, I just would love to see Jared race Jakob so bad right now. But so the other meet, which happened yesterday, was
Yesterday,
a
yeah.
meet in France in a town called
Leven.
Leven,
Something like that.
which is annually like an amazing, one of the best European track meets of the year, and it was the same this year. There was the world record broken in the 3K, 7:23.
That's
Crazy,
stupid.
crazy.
I-
And then Jakob was in the 1500, and he ran 3:32. So that's world lead. That's
That's fast.
so
Nothing
fast.
wrong with that.
And he was so far ahead of everyone, but he didn't look as good as he's looked in the past. And because he's just like, I guess he's been sick. Like, that's the thing. So it's a pretty legitimate reason. Like, he's been sick. So we don't know if, kind of the chatter from us was like, oh, I think he doesn't want to race Yard right now.
That's fair, because he's not at his best.
Yeah. So it's like, I guess.
Nobody wants to see him not at his best again. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
You want to see them race at their best. So it is a little bit unfortunate, but it's like, I think.
Would love a little precursor to Worlds, though. Yeah. Just a little taste.
I would love to just see Yard race against every single other best middle distance runner in the world right now.
I don't think anyone has a shot. Right now.
I just can't imagine how anyone can compete with that. And so
Jakob would have to be in like 327 shape.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Because no one is closing as fast as him, and I don't think anyone is dropping him either. You don't have to get so quick to drop him.
Do you think if Yard beats Jakob, he has to change his name to be spelled with a Y, and vice versa?
Explain that.
Jakob,
like if Yard beats Jakob, it's like, it's spelled like with a Y, and then other way around, it's spelled with a J. Like,
so if Jakob loses, then Yard has to spell his name with a J.
I like that.
Yeah.
Who else? Yeah, we could probably get Yard on board for that.
Yeah. He would change it.
He would do it.
Yeah. I would do it.
That's a good idea.
I'd give it up. Yeah. It's like the battle. Yeah. The battle.
the battle. Yard versus.
I'm trying to brand it. I can't. It'll come.
Yingy versus Yard.
Yingy. Yeah.
Jingy versus Yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something there. We'll have to workshop that one.
Yeah.
But so that was how the meet finished, and I mean, just spectacular. Credit to everyone who went out there and had great races. Another amazing Millrose, very biased, but probably the best indoor race of the year.
Yeah.
Someone commentating in Leven was trying to claim that Leven was better.
No way.
During the meet. Did you just watch Millrose a few days ago, bro? They were like, there's some...
There's only
every year this is the best indoor meet in the world. That's bullshit.
I guess the only reason they could say that is because of the world records that have been broken there. If they're saying that, if they're just purely saying on that, because the 1500 record was broken there a year ago, and this year the men's 3K, and the women ran so fast there as well. The women ran unreal times there as well. So I guess, but in terms of just like
time
the other men,
Exactly.
exactly.
They could have been like, this is the European Millrose.
They should have said that. This is the Leven of New York. Everyone's like, what the fuck is Leven? It makes no sense. So, actually, that's the comparison that you have to do to see which one is bigger.
Does it make sense?
The region, which way makes sense? So, because it's like when... I don't know why this is in my head, but everyone claims they're the Harvard of the South, or like, or like the Harvard of the Midwest. Well, then
like Tulane calls itself the Harvard of the South or something.
Yeah, so then Harvard's obviously the big dog. It's the only one that makes sense. It's the Harvard.
It's not, by the way. Sorry, Tulane. It's not.
Well, I remember at one point before I went to Wisconsin, I think Michigan maybe calls itself like the Harvard of the... Michigan think a lot of themselves as a school. I think they might have called themselves like the Harvard of like the Big Ten of the Midwest or something like that. But so that was that. And then we also mentioned Leven, the performances there. Those were just unreal. You can check those out on YouTube. Good to see Jakob back racing on the track in the 1500, blowing it open. And then the 3K, I think all our minds were blown by just how quick 7:23 is for 3,000 meters. He broke the world record by a good second, and he had Mo Katir.
Mo Katir looked good too.
And he also broke it. It was pretty much just whoever won was getting the world record. Which is like that doesn't often happen.
Yeah.
No, and like there's something about when you're running that quick in the 3K, you're just pushing it to the limit so bad where you could tell like the last couple laps, like they were just fully gassed. Like they're just like there wasn't any kicking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not kicking when you're running that quick. Like maybe a little bit of a speed up, but it's just like the biggest like grind, like
full squeeze.
It's just full squeeze.
Full squeeze ahead.
Yeah,
it's full squeeze mode, which I guess is how the 1500 is kind of run as well now when they're running those quick times as well, unless you're Yard and a Goose. So
You have a squeeze and a kick?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
He's got everything.
He's got all the tools.
Yeah. So that was another great track meet, and we'll round it out pretty soon because I got to go to some treatment. But we were going to talk.
Do.
Yeah, I do. The other two things which are big is we do want to give a shout out to World Cross Country. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do it justice, but we hope everyone enjoyed that and got to check that out in Australia.
Full recap next episode.
Next week. And then the other big one, which these guys before the show were like, yeah, we should probably talk about like the USAs. And I was like, wait, what USAs? It's like USA Indoors is on. And once again, not many people care about it.
Yeah.
The fact
Which is
that
sad.
us three, it was like the afterthought is just says enough, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
USATF, you got to check that out. Why that
Yeah.
is an afterthought. Why your meet is an afterthought.
I don't know if it's a negative to USATF or it's more a positive to the other indoor track meets. Like
probably
Millrose
Right.
and the races at Boston.
Yeah.
New Balance, because in other countries, for example, Cinta's racing in Italian indoors tomorrow, and I'm sure that's the biggest meet of the indoor calendar for all the Italian athletes. But it's like, what else is there?
Yeah. I
You
think,
know?
why would you, if you're only going to race 3 times in an indoor season, why would you waste one of them going to altitude to run?
Well,
To win the US title, baby.
That's a top athlete point of view. Like, there's like the people who get like
But USATF
the
wants
up
the
and
top
comers.
athletes
Yeah,
there.
you're right.
So you just got to
I
find
thought,
the
yeah,
right
I was
way to-
talking from like the people who
They
are
definitely
like, I
don't-
need to get on the map.
USATF don't want their meet to be second rate to
No.
Millrose. Like,
No,
they
yeah.
want US indoors to be
Yeah.
the pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
You would want that.
So
as
how do
your
you
national.
incentivize it? How do you make it more special?
I don't know. But if I knew that World Indoors wasn't like it's an off year, I'd be like thinking about that. Wait, I would have put this on the map like a year ago and been like, okay, this indoor meet is going to need some work.
Yeah, that's the strategist in you talking.
Mm.
How are we
But
going
it's
to
too
make it
late.
special?
Yeah.
But it starts. It's already started.
It started. Yeah, it's already happened. Congrats to Anna
fabulous.
Hall.
Yeah, shout out.
Amazing,
Almost
amazing performance. in
American
2000.
record. Almost broke the
pretty
world record.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't really think that people respond to money. The top athletes don't respond to money. I think, unless maybe it's something outrageous. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the top athletes respond to money in this circumstance. I think it is I think it's the prestige of either winning an amazing title or breaking in a record
Yeah.
during indoors. That's
And
what
you
gets
can't,
people.
and you can't do either of those things. Well, unless you're Anna Hall, apparently.
Yeah.
But you can't really do either of those things in
You just-
Albuquerque.
It should
Sprinters
be.
can. Sprinters can.
Sprinters probably can.
It should be
and
such
field
that I guess winning the US indoor title means more, and
Yeah.
and that's the incentive to go.
But the reason it doesn't is because half the field is missing.
Yeah.
What
If-
came first, the chicken or the egg?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like a it's a
Did half the
calendar.
meet leave, but then it wasn't prestigious, or did it?
They had it in Albuquerque, and then everyone's like, "Fuck that." They had it in Spokane and Albuquerque.
Yeah.
No offense to those two places, but
You're not wrong.
I wonder, like, I would love to be in the room with some of these USA athletes, like, playing their calendar and seeing where it, like, fell on their, like, because it's, like, it comes up, right? Like, they're probably like, okay, here's how I'm going to think about my schedule. Like, where did it land on there?
Well,
I mean,
let's-
you don't get
And then-
Josh
yeah.
Kerr. You don't get
Actually, yeah, you guys
Mario,
can't be
you don't-
talking. You've never won any US titles. So it's
I also
actually
haven't.
pretty
We also haven't
embarrassing.
won an Australian or New Zealand indoor title either. So
nope.
Okay.
we're not going to say it. But I'm thinking about for our team. We have Sage competing in it, but like
Not
you-
in the 800.
she's competing in the 15.
Yeah.
But even like Josette's not racing it.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want to go win a US title? Nope. Nope. I guess not. And like Alicia, what's she doing? No, it's just like no incentive. It's like
Mhm.
it's just like they would rather have when Millrose was last week and they achieved these amazing things. It's like let's go back to training and then bigger and better in the future, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you said like you don't think money's a incentive. I don't know if like a national meet even like money is even part of the incentive anyway.
I think it is.
They have
It
prize
is
money
USATF
sometimes.
pays
Okay.
national champs.
I'm not sure what it looks like. Yeah, for indoors, but I
I
think,
think I read like $6,000.
$6,000. That's pretty good.
bet.
That's pretty good actually.
But when World Athletics makes a ridiculous standard like 27 minutes, you don't
That's
really
true,
have
yeah.
the freedom to race an indoor meet when you're trying to run 26 something in literally 3 weeks.
That's true. Like I'm sure Joe would love to go.
Yeah.
He talked about in the gym today how he would like to go and race the 3K there or whatever it is.
Just doesn't fit.
But World Athletics made a fucked up 10K standard.
Yeah.
So that you can't like jeopardize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things that go into not making it.
Is
cool.
this a good points meet? Sorry. Is this a good points meet?
Probably not as good as Millrose. Well,
yeah, probably not as good as Millrose.
There's that gold tour thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. That is like one of the, because we've talked a bunch about like why people are running so fast now, and weirdly enough, if you think about it, the ranking system actually incentivizes people. This is a tangent. Incentivizes people to try to run faster all the time rather than running more tactical. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Which
I mean, that's part of the
weird.
reason Joe was saying like going to Millrose for the ranking. He's like, there's literally no point running a tactical race when you get so many points for running.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like something that to me it doesn't quite make sense.
Well, it's kind of supposed to be the opposite because
Exactly.
you should get, like, the reward should be winning. And there is a reward. You do.
Yeah.
If you win Millrose, you get a ton of points.
Nice points. But you also have to run
But
quick
you
because
do-
everyone else is running quick.
You do kind of have to run fast.
And it's all relative. So if everyone else is running quick, you're only going to get ranked above them if you run
Faster
just as
than-
quick
yeah,
or
yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
So everyone has to run quick all the time now.
I wonder if anyone will get displaced by an epic performance at Cross Champs in the fall. That was a great, right? Right?
I haven't thought about that.
That one is probably like they're like, what? Like, this person's ahead of me? And they open up that little like 5 meet average and it's like, what is this?
Yeah, how do you do that? That's crazy.
I need to be at US Cross Champs. Like, I'll pick Cross Champs over USATF Indoor National.
If only. If only.
Didn't you get ranking points for the relay tonight?
There's no way. Wait, yeah,
Maybe.
do they cross
It's worth
country? Do they still do like top 15 as a 10K qualifier or something? Or top 10 maybe? That used to be an automatic
It did used
10K
to be.
qualifier.
You at least get points.
Yeah.
For
You should look into that for like a topic next episode, because I think I saw something pop up of like, this is like, there's like this many slots for the 10K for World Cross, like with these standards. Yeah, there's something there. I don't know.
There's something
actually.
there and we didn't know
Yeah.
about it, even though it's our job,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But I do have to leave.
Yeah.
This has been lovely. Thank you very much for coming on, Tom.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Was it what you expected?
I don't know what I expected, but yeah,
Yeah.
this was sweet.
Thanks,
I can't
bro.
wait for the next three or four.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Well, that's episode 73. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see all you guys next time.